welcome back to another Drakeotic Builds. So today we are updating a little bit on the Master Sword. I plan on actually waiting for this. I'm going to do some work this week. I'll go over that here in a minute. All right. So basically, as you can see, I've got putty filled in. I do have a little gap right there. May have to touch up. But I put putty in the seams. Now, from before, it's looking a little rough now. And that's only because I've sanded it. So it has been sanded. I got the seams filled here with, I'm looking through the camera and not really where my finger's going. So it's kind of funny. Like, oh, look at the seam. So the seam, you can see I've got putty everywhere. So I did do some sanding. I got a little bit of more sanding to do because I got some buildup right here that it's a little hard, tough spot to try to get off. So I'm going to do some more sanding before I do the next step. Believe it or not, that's actually rather smooth. Well, maybe not right there. Sorry, maybe not right there, but yeah, so it does look a little rough at the moment. That's going to need some more sanding. But it's only because this is just the sanding stage. The next step... Oh, and then, I didn't want to have to go out and buy a hand sander. So, on Thingiverse, they have a 3D printed hand sander. So check that out. This is really cool. Let me see if I can prop up my phone here. Like I said, I'm doing this all with my phone. Alright guys, so. Yeah, so basically, it's got a 3D printed screw. And it screws into here. It's got the wedge. So basically, you just tighten it down. And you get a little hand sander. Isn't that cool? That's cool as hell. So I didn't have to go out and buy one. Basically, I just made one. Sorry if that changes the orientation of my video. That's probably weird. So yeah. So right now, it's just the sanding part. You see the back side too. It's all sanded. It does look a little rough because I got the putty everywhere. But next step is going to be actually some more putty. So this stuff here to fill this, I use spackling. This goes on pink and dries white. So that way I know, when it's dry. I can start sanding. My next step, I'm hoping tomorrow. So this video is going to be a multi-part video. I'm going to tie it all into one video. So excuse the different days that I'll be doing this. I'm going to be doing this today and then tomorrow. If I can do the sanding tomorrow, I will and show you that step. But most likely, I'm just going to be showing you this part that I'm showing you now. And then after this part. So this is glazing spot putty. What I'm going to attempt to do, and I've seen this in multiple videos, and I guess it works really good, is you do the bondo glazing spot putty. You put a little bit in a container, a couple dashes of acetone, and basically what that does is it liquefies the paste a little bit, and you can brush it on. And what that will do is that will fill all the gaps, and the acetone makes it dry quicker, so you can start sanding quicker. So that's going to be my next step. That's going to be tomorrow, hopefully. But until then, I'm just going to tack this on to tomorrow's video. So I will just tie it into that, and it'll just be one big video. So, alright, till then, peace. Alright folks, little interruption for our Zelda sword here. This is a little hint at what my next big project is going to be. Now this is actually just a small amiibo holder, but if anybody recognizes what this may be, then you might know what my next project's going to be. But I'll tell you what, I'll show you this little guy a little bit later once it's done. Probably work on it tomorrow when I do the bondo on the sword. But today I did learn a few things with the new printer. I learned that happens when I run out of filament, when a print pauses, as well as what a multicolor print looks like. Now I'm going to prime this and paint this, but you can kind of see a layer there maybe of where the two changed, but that's okay. This is kind of cool. Alright guys, back to the other video. Alright guys, welcome back to the next part of the video. In the first part, we talked about some stuff on the blade. Second part here, we did my putty work, or the bondo work. So, kind of hard to see. It looks like there's still some spots that look rough, but honestly, that is really smooth. Except for like maybe that little bottom piece right there. But you know what? It's okay because the primer I'm going to use, I got a wet spot here. I gotta do some more work in this spot right here. These joints are just snug tight together. I didn't really use any super glue because they're not really going to go anywhere, but as I was holding the sword, flipping it, it slipped and hit my pants, and then it cracked the seam here that it cracked that there. So you know, so okay, more bondo and more sanding, but I gotta let it dry before I do sanding. So it does look in areas, it looks a little rough, but it's not. It's actually smooth, and whatever's imperfections are left will get filled up with the filler primer. So I'll be using a filler primer I'm going to get from AutoZone. The filler primer will coat it really good, and then you sand it with a fine sand. So I'm going to get it 600 grit, or 6 something, is it 660, 600? I forget what it's called. I'm going to get a better sandpaper, fine sandpaper, because once I get the coat on, a primer, sand it down really good, probably coat it again, sand it down really good, and then it's ready for painting. So my goal is to either this coming weekend or this coming Monday, to start priming, and I'll do a video on that. I didn't really put any putty around these areas here. I'm not too worried about the guard. I figured the filler primer will just fill up. What is that? Looks like I got. Hold on. Okay, looks like I just had a little bit of excess there. So the filler primer will fill up a lot of this on this more fine piece. I didn't want to try to get this spot putty into the fine crevices of all this detailed stuff. So I figured I would leave the decorative parts alone and then just let the filler primer do the work. I did do some putty on with the rough spots on the wrap, because when I reprinted the handle, I didn't reprint the wrap. And I printed the wrap when I first was learning the printer, and that was when I realized afterwards that I can print the pieces out a lot nicer. Again, dry spot. You can see, if you look, you can see where it cracked. Yeah, so it's just filling that up, and I'll sand it down real good again. Make it nice and smooth. So yeah, guys. It's coming along nicely. Right now it looks a little rough. That's just because it's just the bondo. Once I prime it, I'll do another quick update video. And then it's probably going to be a little bit before I can paint it. My schedule for next week, for work schedule, is not going to really allow me to probably get much painting done until the next weekend. So I'm hoping, like I said, Saturday or Sunday to be priming. Not Sunday, sorry. Saturday or Monday to prime. And then be good to paint after that. I will keep you guys updated with this. You guys get the little sneak peek of what my next project's going to be. It's going to be a big one. It's actually going to be a two-part project with two pieces. I'm just trying to decide what piece to do first. I am leaning on the easier piece first before I jump into the more harder piece. But if you recognize what that little 3D print was, you might know, you may not know. It's old school. But I will give more hints probably in the next video, as well as once this project's complete, I will reveal what my next project's going to be. I am ordering that piece, the audio for the Zelda box tonight. So expect an update on that. Once I get that, I will continue the little box video. Probably try to get it to where I set up the sound, get that set up for you guys, and then we'll demonstrate it, see how it works. Alright, until next time guys, peace.